is your online reputation so important to you as a business?
Yeah, it's pretty much integral to what we're doing at the moment, as we're looking to kind of improve our customer satisfaction and our service offering. So it's great to have a good review, obviously, but we know that we don't always get it right, and it's really important for us to find out about this and then to be able to make things right after that.
How you interact with your customers online isn't just necessarily you speaking to them directly. If you're on a forum or something like that, or on social media, it can be seen by other people. So for someone out there, that may be the first time they've got any awareness of your business, and how you present yourself in that situation is crucial.
We actually use a platform called Review Pro, which will then kind of collate all of the reviews from online travel agents or TripAdvisor. In one way, it's time saving for our customer services team to be able to respond to reviews, but on the other hand, it also pulls together the positive and the negative semantics of reviews, and from there we can then create key performance indicators for the hotel operations teams so that they can then improve their service offerings and essentially improve the reviews there. If
you're a new business and you're trying to get reviews, you're looking to get those from the people who've already stayed with you or eaten with you or used your service, and from your own experience of being with them, interacting with them, people who've had a particularly good experience. And I would say, if you've got a relationship, if you've had a bit of conversation with them, giving them a bit of insight into, we're only a new business, any word of mouth is much appreciated. You're not trying to be too pushy, you're just trying to empathise with them. But there are nudges you can kind of bring in to make it a bit more organised if you wanted. So say, I don't know, when someone's paid the bill, if you give them a little card saying, thank you very much for staying with us, here is an offer if you stay with us or use our service again. And by the way, here are some sites that you can leave reviews from us if you have enjoyed your stay and want to share that with others.
Mm-hmm. So you can do that. Amy, I know that you guys actually are doing it a little bit differently, aren't you, in terms of how do you go about getting good reviews?
Yeah, sure. So one thing that we're not really sure of is our reviews. We are quite lucky that we have lots of reviews coming in so that we can see what's actually been said about us. But one of the things that we were looking at was that it's not just about trying to sort of encourage people to leave a positive review. It's kind of about how this can happen organically. So we've taken a slightly different tact, is to actually look at the customer journey as a whole, from our website, what happens once they've made the booking, what information do they receive then once the booking is complete, even down to how long the check-in process takes when they actually arrive at the hotel.
You timed it, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. I love the idea of the stopwatch, like challenge Annika.
And then from that, we're then looking to see where the pinch points are. Where does it correlate with our reviews? Where are people not quite, where are we not quite meeting expectations within this process? And from there, we can then make improvements. And from that, we're hoping to improve and increase our reviews organically rather than trying to push people into actually leaving a review. We actually use a platform called Hootsuite, so that's for social media reputation management. And from here, we can actually pull in certain keywords or hashtags, or sometimes people won't actually use your official account handle, so it's a good way to kind of pull all those the mentions in there. And you can also search certain things that are happening within the tourism industry. So it could be, for example, historic events that are happening if you search a certain hashtag, and then you can pull in that information, and we use it for kind of curating content to be able to then share on. So be it for our guests that might be looking for information on things to do in the area, or about people talking about us, and just to get to see what's being said out there.
The thing with responding to reviews is, I see there's quite a few reasons to do it. One would be, okay, you've got an individual who's had an issue, and possibly if you go on and can resolve it in a way, then maybe you win them back as a returning customer. From a wider perspective, again, it comes back to that thing of, this might be the first time people have any interaction with your brand or see it being spoken about in any way. So if you can come back and respond to it in a polite, professional, friendly way that appears open to feedback and keen to resolve matters, then it gives a better impression of you in that sense. And another thing is, in terms of whether people are more likely to leave negative reviews than positive reviews, would be if you're seen to be going in and replying and responding to things. I think the most keyboard warrior-esque of the reviewers might actually be put off by doing that. Sometimes people just kind of want to shout and they don't necessarily want a response, and actually the idea of getting a response might scare them off a little bit. If they can look and see they respond in a polite, professional way to every one of these responses, so me just letting off steam it's not really going to work
you look
out.
bad. Yeah.
Yes. So I think actually maybe there's a possible effect of actually negating some of those happening in the first place. With Google reviews, if you think about the different ways in which people can use Google to be relevant, to tourism. So obviously, if you're searching for accommodation, say, or restaurants in a local area, you get presented with a list, and quite often Google will sort those into near the top of the selection, and when we pick out 3 or 4, and it'll have the Google review star ratings for those, and it'll show you the little map as well we can click on. Or if you start off on maps and you're looking and you're searching in a kind of, what are restaurants that are near me now, then again it'll show you the same thing. It'll show you businesses that it recognises, but it'll show you the Google review score for them. So again, that could be your first point of call for that, and if one's showing as 4.5 stars and one's showing as 2 stars, you're going to the one that's got the 4.5 stars. I know that can vary depending on the size of business you've got. Obviously, Amy, you're across a lot of hotels, but you have a bigger team to reflect that, and sometimes for people, if there's only 1 or 2 of them in the business, it can seem really daunting. But if at the same time, if it's a business on that scale, there's probably less to deal with. So if you can think of it in terms of spending 10 or 20 minutes in each morning, checking things and using some of the tools that Amy's mentioned, like Hootsuite, or setting up Google Alerts or Review Pro, so that you can kind of compile things in a way that you're less likely to miss things, then it doesn't have to be as daunting as it might seem, and you can still make sure that you're on top of it.
Sure. I think also just to make sure that it's not just left online, you are taking the feedback and putting it back into what you're doing operationally. That's a really big thing.